we're going to talk to a variety of people about why they think outcome-focused reviews are important. Now we're going to talk to a social worker about their perspective on outcome-focused reviews. As you remember, Lisa Davis was at Kev's review. We're going to ask her about some of the advantages of this process of review and whether an outcome-focused review can form the basis of a statutory review, so there doesn't need to be two meetings. So Lisa, you've been at Kev's review as his social worker. What was your perspective of an outcome-focused review?
Well, first of all, I think it went really well. I felt that Kev felt really comfortable. He was, the main focus on the review. Very person-centred. He got to express all his needs and his wishes, any concerns. Unlike previous reviews, general statutory reviews, which we have done, it hasn't been where we've gone through each outcome that Kev wanted when he first received his personal budget. It's generally more of just a process, reviewing the care that's in place, and it's not really Kev's views where the outcome focused reviews are, and we can see how each personal outcome, whether it's being achieved, whether Kev's happy with it, and whether we've needed, whether further work's required on that or not.
So did you feel it was able to give you comfort, I suppose, that the personal budget was being spent appropriately? Did the process help with that?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see how the budget's broken down on a weekly, daily basis, and how much money's been spent on each outcome, really. I mean, what Kev wants support with, and if it isn't being used correctly, then we can see and we can amend it so it is being used correctly, so that Kev's using his personal budget to, the best really.
Yeah. Is an outcome-focused review sufficient from a statutory perspective?
Yes, I do feel that this would complete a statutory review. We'd be able to go through each domain as we would do with a statutory review, as we have done today. Kev will be able to give his wishes, as he would do in any review, see what's working, what isn't, and then deal with that appropriately. Yeah. What
would you say to people who might say that outcome-focused reviews are really time-intensive process?
I do feel that it is quite time lengthy, it does take quite a bit of time, but at the end of the day, you're getting to know your service user a lot better, you're building up a relationship with them, and if there's that trust there, then you can meet their needs best, and you can be open with each other, and yeah, I do definitely think that.
Would you say that by sort of investing the time now, actually it means that quite often people won't need an unscheduled review at a later date?
If we're doing the reviews more thoroughly, like we have done today, then all the needs and issues should have been dealt with, and they'll all have been raised, so unscheduled reviews will hopefully, they won't occur, or they'll occur a lot less than they are doing at the moment.
Thank you. The advantages of an outcome-focused review for the practitioner are that it puts the person reviewed at the centre. It really concentrates on outcomes, not on process. It makes it easier to see how the budget is being spent, and it is sufficient for a statutory review. Now we're going to hear from Jill. Jill's a regional manager at Lifeways and manages Holly, who you met earlier at Kev's review. We're going to ask Jill from her perspective as a manager about how outcome-focused reviews are useful in influencing organisational change and problem solving. Hi Jill, I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about why Lifeways thinks outcome-focused reviews are important.
Okay, the experience we've had is that the outcome-focused review really helps the person and the family and the staff team find out what's really important to that person, and we come out of it with a clear plan, a clear outcome that the person wants to achieve in their life. It's such a good way of working. We've actually, because I work across the region, we are using it in other parts of the region now as well, because I find it's such a good way of doing things. And to me, it's person-centred, and we have a good outcome at the end. So we're very clear, these are the goals that the person wants to achieve, and we can then help our staff put that into practice.
Right. So do you think it find it beneficial from a sort of staffing point of view to work in this way?
Definitely, because I think if you've got clear outcomes, then to the person, they're clear to the family, and they're also clear to the staff.
So what difference do you think it makes for the service that you provide?
To me, it's really why we're in the job. It makes a difference to people's lives, and I think it helps us focus on what is really important to that person, and it helps people achieve their goals so much quicker. And we've only been doing this for a year, but I can see such massive achievements already, and people are really progressing and becoming more independent a lot quicker, I think, than the way we were working before.
Right. Advantages of the outcome-focused review for the provider are that by identifying outcomes that are clear to the person, it provides outcomes that are clear to the family and to staff as well, and helps them solve problems together. You come out of it with a clear plan, and people become more independent more quickly. Finally, we need to know why outcome-focused reviews are important from the perspective of a commissioner. So we're going to talk to Kim Howarth, who is an Area Commissioning Manager at Lancashire County Council for Central Lancashire, and ask him why outcome-focused reviews are important in strategic planning. Kim's going to tell us about how some of the top 3 choices that people make can influence the bigger picture decisions that have to be made. So Kim, why are outcome-focused reviews so important from a commissioner's perspective?
Well, they're really important to us as commissioners because what they do, they inform what we call our commissioning cycle. So it's really important that we absolutely understand what's important to people. Outcome-focused reviews give us that opportunity to aggregate numbers of people who are having reviews, and that can really help us with our strategic plans. So if you will, it goes from an individual level right through to a strategic level. And I suppose what the word that you'll hear used quite a bit at the moment is around co-production, and that's about making sure that people who use services and supports are actually very much part of that planning process, and they're helping us to co-design supports for the future. And I suppose the other thing about outcome-focused reviews is that it really, really helps us to work with our wider partners, so that if you look at reviews on an individual level, often they're focused on more health and social care type world. If you look at it now, what we can do is we can pick up themes through that aggregated information so that we can inform, say for example, the local borough council, so it becomes much more than anecdotal information. And what that helps us to do is to make sure that we've got communities that are fit for purpose, and that the supports and services that are across that community and not just around that one person.
So the advantages of outcome-focused reviews for the Commissioner are that it helps in measuring performance, helps in planning strategic change, it supports person-centred planning by ensuring that personal budgets are spent and supports are provided most effectively. And it promotes better partnership working and stronger communities. So when you combine all the perspectives of the person, of the provider, of the social worker and of the commissioner, you can see what a difference outcome-focused reviews really make, not only for the individual but actually for the wider community as well.